Okay, I'm Neil McClean, costume designer on Expendables 4. The basis for Lash actually was herself, in the sense of that she has these incredible tattoos that are on her arms and on, across her collarbone and chest. So that was a huge part of the costume that we designed around her, because now you've got me. Sorry, Simon. Scott really wanted to show off that, and as part of a character that she's playing, she's this beautiful Asian girl who is covered in these incredibly beautiful tattoos. So obviously with a costume you don't want to hide that, because that also elevates her to a whole nother character. And therefore we decided the original idea for the mercenaries on the Jantara was more of a wintry, it's Ramat's army, so it's a bit of a ragtag army, although he have retained a common thread of costume with camouflage and color-wise. We kept that throughout all of these mercenary characters. So taking those pieces, like the pieces of leather, we've used only black leather, we've used dark greens, dark browns, and this very, very dark camo, so we could incorporate it. With Lash, she has a special weapon which is called a whip chain, which is great because you can hide it. It's in her belt. It looks like a belt. So when they get tied up and have all their equipment taken, nobody realizes what she's actually got on her. Meanwhile, they've left her fully equipped to kill someone with it. So, she's this like interesting dynamic character of this Asian ninja tattooed warrior, which is amazing. So yeah, it was really fun to dress her, and obviously she's stunningly beautiful and easy to dress. What's been challenging is all the military, because it is so heavily military laden, and with the Expendables themselves, all of those characters being dressed in military, is to create individual characters within the realm of that military look. Because if you're considering military as a costume, it's pretty much standard. You've got the cargo pants, you've got a shirt which has got pockets, military, you have a flak vest. So using those basic elements that we had, adapting and changing them, incorporating leather, chopping up tactical vests to create new designs, just taking the military, the basic military that we got from a lot of military shops, cutting it up, changing it, and pushing it a few steps forward to make it a little bit more edgy, more tight-fitting, especially with Megan Fox's look. She has those really tight trousers, showing off, physique, showing off a little bit more skin. All of that with all of the characters, not just Megan. We've done it with 50 Cent. We did it with Toll Road. Adding things like scarves, shamags, which have been used in previous ones, but with the original Expendables, it's trying to extend their character into just another element of their character. Like if you were a character 7 years ago, you've certainly changed in 7 years. You've become something else. There's a different dynamic to you. So it's just really, it's not a costume movie, but trying through costume to convey the essence of a character. And, something that Scott is happy with and something that the character themselves is happy with playing. And when they look at themselves in the mirror in a costume fitting, they go, yeah, now I can see the character, which is always really good. That was pretty much, with the freedom of having new Expendables to play with, it gives you that opportunity to, you've got this, like, imagine the actors are mannequins, and you get given this amazing mannequin covered in already this really beautiful design, as we discussed with Lash. And you just embellish it, really. You take something that's not going to cover, that's going to close, but something that looks like military hardware, or could be military hardware. We're not doing a military documentary, so we have freedom to play and, give it a bit of a sort of character edge in the sense of it's Expendables. You can push the envelope. Working with Jason has been amazing. It's incredibly collaborative as far as Jason is concerned. We actually started fitting Jason 3 weeks prior to the shoot. He is very much involved in every aspect of not only his costume but his props as well. He's incredibly particular about the look and the feel. He wants it to look as authentic as possible, but at the same time, we can, push the envelope. He likes the idea of very much a sort of like a vintage throwback to that military look, which we've tried to create with him. It's sort of like old SAS. Originally, at the beginning, we've kept him, as I said, continuity-wise from the previous Expendables. But he's also moved on from that. He's now in a relationship, which, as turbulent as it might be, he's a different character. I think that comes across in the storyline. He's changed throughout the Expendables 4. There's certain things that happen within the show that really do change him as an individual. And so his story really goes off at a tangent. So that what's really nice is then you play with all these different, he has more costume changes than anybody else because his story takes a whole nother route. So we got the opportunity of putting him in a suit. We had the opportunity of him wandering the streets of Thailand. We've got him going back on another mission. There were all these elements that came to play. I think there was 10 different costumes for him in total. And he was very, very much involved in every single one of them. Working with Scott has been great. Scott is super excited, has a great energy, is very involved. You can approach him at any time if you have costume questions. I always send him the process with normally when you're fitting a character, regardless of who they are, we'll do 3 or 4 options. Then I put together a presentation for him, send it off. He chooses the one he likes, or we discuss. I'll say, especially with the actors, like if I was, for example, Gunnar, we would say Gunnar prefers this one. What do you think? And then it's, like I said, it's a very collaborative process. Everybody gets involved. Luckily on this one, not so much the producers, but normally on other jobs, producers get involved as well. But on this, it's just been really between myself, the director, and the artist. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to almost relaunch Expendables and hopefully capture a whole new audience, as well as the existing fan base that they have, creating some amazing new characters, some incredible action scenes with obviously incredible costumes, and, just giving it a whole fresh reboot, and hopefully it'll, really reach all the people that it is meant to, and they'll love it as much as I've enjoyed working on it.